This is what happens when you go to Five Below. All right, hey, it's the man Darbarian. I'm at the Delco Horror Haven GHOULASTIC Book Faire still, and I'm having a blast. And I have a young lady here, right? Her name is Kim, and she's a horror author. So, Kim, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I've been writing since I was like 10 years old, but it took me like 23 years to actually publish my first book. And it wasn't even the fiction stuff that I usually write. It was a nonfiction about women in horror movies and about the genre as a whole and how women have shaped the genre and whether or not it's misogynistic. So that is my baby. I spent 3 years researching it, and I finally published it like 2 years ago. And from there, I've just kind of been picking up a lot of my old fiction stories that I've written. So after that, I collected all of my short horror stories that I wrote, and I put all of those together into a collection. Then I took a young adult science fiction that I had been working on for a couple of years, and I finally finished that, and I have that one. And now my upcoming book is called Dreaming in Bones, and it is a futuristic crime thriller.
Wow, that sounds really cool.
I write a little bit of everything because I read a little bit of everything, and I can't focus long enough to only stick with one genre.
I know, ADHD.
Yeah,
pretty
much.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Who's your favorite lady in horror?
It's got to be Ripley from Alien.
All right, I'll give you that.
That was like the first horror movie that I ever watched, and it traumatized me because I watched it way too young. I was like 10 years old, and I'm covering my eyes as the chest burst is coming out and all that stuff. But Ripley was she is my queen. I love her in the second one. I probably only like the third and fourth ones because she's in it. Mm-hmm. But my favorite trivia from the fourth one is that that backwards basketball shot that she takes, she sank it first try. Nobody expected her to, and she just hit it. And I just think that's amazing. Like, yes, Sigourney Weaver.
It's funny. You always hear there's not a lot of strong women in horror and sci-fi, right? And then I always go, Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, I mean...
And then they shut up.
You have to look for it. And at the end of the day, what is horror without women in it?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have a genre without women. And yeah, like, bad things happen to them. And yes, they are tortured more and killed more and whatnot. But actually, in my book, I talk about that men tend to die more frequently than women in horror movies. And at the end of the day, women are the ones who survive. So how is it not a women's genre?
So let me give you a minute from the Mad Darbarian. Yes, the chicks survive. You know why? We have to keep the human species going. Right? The guys survived. There's only a couple chicks. Right? Right? It'll end up like people in the movie we had on last week, Spider Baby. Anyway, all right.
That sounds terrible.
It was a movie, and it was the incest. It was Ron Chaney's last movie.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Not adding it to the watch list.
Oh no! All right. When you watch it, right, you'll get a kick out of it. And one of the funniest things about it is that Ron Chaney Jr. is really, really trying to like do well in this because he knows it's his last movie, but he had an alcohol problem.
Okay.
And you can see scenes where he's not all there. Right? When you look into his eyes and you see straight through the back of his head, yeah, that's where he was in the movie. Oh, perfect. There we go. That's great. So, it's the Mad Dart. So, what's your website?
It's going to be on Wix. I don't remember what it's exactly called. It's like wix.com/Final Girl. Kimberly Pins on Final Girl.
Okay.
But if you find me on Instagram or Threads or TikTok, my username on there is Modern Monstrous, and you'll be able to find my website from there.
I love that name. That's fantastic. So, this is the Mad Darbarian, WONTV New York, at Cemetery Cinema, and I'm out. See ya.